Hi, Islamic Dad here. This video is going to be different. Probably the most controversial one that I've ever made. So buckle up. If you enjoy these videos and find them helpful, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. So this one's going to be a little bit of a journey, and you're going to have to pay attention and follow along to get to the end. So we'll start off with the disorder, or as some people would say, adaptation of narcissism itself. Now, everything that I've read, heard, could get my hands on when describing narcissism, as far as like how it's formed, just like serial killers. Narcissists are made, they are not born. And if you disagree, I don't care. I'm not here. Go make your own YouTube channel. But from what psychologists have really determined, that there is an issue with bonding with the parent. And the really sad part is that this might be pre-verbal. And the issue with that is that when issues are pre-verbal, it becomes very, very difficult to deal with them, even in therapy, because they're so ingrained in the psyche. So a lot of the trauma that creates a narcissist is believed to happen right around that age. Some of it might be pre-verbal, some of it might be, early, toddler years, up until probably, 4 or 5 on the higher end. But basically that there's an issue with the mother-child bonding. The mother is either abusive directly, abusive emotionally, physically, other ways, or abuse through neglect. Or you might have a situation where, the mother is a narcissist herself and isn't able to form an emotional bond with the child. So, I mean, there's lots of scenarios that could cause that bond not to break. And, there could be other ways of, and again, this is where the term adaptation comes in. My understanding is some people might become borderline, some people might become sociopaths, or something like that. I mean, there are other adaptations that the child at this age takes as a coping mechanism to deal with the fact that their own mother doesn't treat them well and acts like they don't want the child to exist. It's very, very sad. And so, that is how a narcissist is created. And so much of the narcissist coping mechanism, which then becomes who they are as a person for the rest of their life, is dealing with that, about not being able to connect with other people and always trying to get, what we refer to as supply, but get attention. And if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, on a lot of levels, it becomes where that person is a surrogate mother for the narcissist, in that the narcissist, as far as like their ranking of importance of, say, supply, attention, affection, etc., is on their partner, because they want everything from their partner that they were not able to get from their own mother when they were a child. And of course, after the love bombing phase, that switch gets flipped, and the narcissist decides that it's, in a weird way, safer for them to distance themselves from you, because it's like, okay, you're not my mom. You're not going to be the perfect mother that I always wanted. So, okay, so that, I'm not even getting to the main point yet. This is just step one, getting along this journey. So I've kind of set like kind of the framework of how a lot of psychologists, view the model of how a narcissist is formed, and then how that coping mechanism, kind of follows the narcissist throughout their life. And the weird dynamic of how the partner in a relationship with the narcissist is viewed as a surrogate mother in some fashion. So, let's take all that, put it over here. So, a lot of people, myself included, have talked about the strength of the bond that we have with the narcissist while we're in the relationship. And then we come out of the relationship and the fog dissipates and we realize what was going on. And, it's a very, factual, true statement to say, okay, as I know love, the narcissist never loved me. As I know caring, the narcissist never cared for me. As I know consideration, the narcissist never had any consideration for me. And those are all true statements as to what was really happening during the relationship. That said, for myself, I had some odd experiences with my two narcissists, especially my covert narcissist ex-girlfriend, where there were a lot of just uncanny coincidences. So, for example, I might be working during the day, she might be working during the day, and I think, God, I haven't talked with them all day. I wonder what they're up to. And so I pick up my phone and I, have my finger hovering over my phone, and I would see the three dots. And then my girlfriend at the time, would text me, hey, haven't spoken to you all day. What's up? How are you doing? And it would be like practically the same text that I was sending her. And that happened all the time. And I mean, once, okay, coincidence. Two or three times, okay, that's an uncanny coincidence. 50 times, 75, 100 times, daily, multiple times a day. I think, I'm not going to say what power in the universe was causing that to happen, but I'm not going to dismiss it. It happened, and it was very, very strange. And there are other things like that where, I might think, it'd be, really nice to go to this one, pizza joint that's, up in the mountains. And again, get my phone and be just, my fingers hovering above the screen. And then a text pops up from my ex-girlfriend saying, hey, how about we go to that, pizza place up in the mountains? And this type of stuff happened all the time. And I mean, to the point where it's just, for me and her, we just kind of got used to it. That was just kind of the norm for us, in the relationship. There's a dark side to that. Okay, and so going forward, I'm going to call this a psychic connection. Very woo, but at the same time, I feel like the English language does not have the words that I feel would fit this as accurately as I'd like. So the closest that I can come up with is, psychic connection. And so the dark side of this played out in that, as I described in other videos, the last year of our relationship was horrible for me. It was not fun. It was not fulfilling. I was just white knuckling the relationship, waiting for her to go back to normal. And it never happened. So during that last year, I would just, hit rock bottom, just lose hope and just be like, I cannot do this any longer. I'm dying. And so I would get, dressed up and say, okay, this is it. I'm going to break up with her today. And so there were a few times when I would just, hop in the car and I'd be driving over, and then my, phone, I'd get a text, and it would be like, hey, how about you come over and I'll make you dinner? And it's like, okay, that totally caught me off guard. Maybe things are going to work out. Maybe this is it. Maybe things are going to turn around. And so I would just keep my mouth shut and go over and have a really nice, dinner with her. Or what also happened a lot, actually more times than that, is that I get all dressed up and just say, look, I'm coming over. I'll be there at 7. And again, I was just in the mode of like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. I can't go on like this any longer. I'm just going to stand outside her door. I'm not even going to go inside the apartment because I'm just going to say my piece, turn around and walk away. Cause I'm not going to do a whole drama thing. I'm too old for that. I'm just going to say, hey, this isn't working for me. I'm out. And it was tough. But I'd made up my mind and, considered things for weeks, months. So, I've decided I'm going to break up with her. So I drive over, go up the stairs, ring the doorbell. Door opens up and she peeks out from behind the door wearing the sexiest outfit I've ever seen in my life. Lipstick, earrings, and like I've said before, I'm very much a red-blooded American guy. And so seeing that, all thoughts of ending the relationship evaporated. And so I was like, oh, okay. This happening one time, oh, that's interesting. 3 times, that's an uncanny coincidence. 20 times, something's going on here. I mean, it was like things would get, for me, bad, and I would just be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to break up with her today. And it's like 30 miles away, she could read my mind. And she was just like, oh, crap. Oh, he's going to break up with me tonight. Okay, think. Okay, sexy lingerie, lipstick, putting on some pretty cat ears. I'll make some Caesar salad or, and then just, show up like that. And it's like, okay, come on. What is going on in the universe where my ex would know the days that I had decided I was going to break up with her? Because the flip side of the flip side is that, trust me, if I just said, hey, I'm gonna come over at 7:00 today. Okay. And I'm like, yay, I got a girlfriend. This is great. And I show up and she's in like sweats, maybe some like guacamole stain on the leg or something, no lipstick, no earrings, maybe some grease on the glasses. Hey, how you doing? And it's just like, just night and day. So, what I'm saying is like, okay, so regardless of if it was like a bad instance or a good instance, I was trying to say that there was some type of psychic connection going on. Again, I don't know what else to call it, where she would be in sync with me, both as far as like simple things like, oh, I should text them today, or, text them right now, or hey, let's go see that movie, or something like that. But also like, oh my gosh, they're going to come over and break up with me tonight. I need to address that. Just this connection there. Okay, now I'm going to wrap everything, or, connect things back together. So, if you are a parent and you have a child, or have had a child, especially a younger one, you have that sixth sense. You might be in the house, say it's a larger house, and you're just doing your thing, and you're like, okay, I don't know why, but I need to check on the kids right now. And you go running in, and say one of your kids was, playing in one of the rooms, and they managed to lock themselves in the closet, and they're panicking, so they won't open up the door, or calm down to like turn the doorknob the right way to open it. So you just say, okay, please stop, and you open it up, and they come out, and they're crying and stuff. But the thing is, like, you knew, you didn't hear that, you didn't see that because that was on the other side of the house. You felt that in your soul. You knew, okay, that's my child, something is up. And so, what I'm wondering is, given the nature of how the narcissist is formed, and let's call it the eternal search for the surrogate mother, the mother that the narcissist never had as a child, and that connection, are they all related? Is that psychic connection that you may feel with the narcissist related to the connection a parent has with their child? Just kind of that sixth sense that you kind of know things that you don't know how you know them. You just do. You feel them in your soul, and you're just like, no, this is it. And I think, and this is the kind of the implication that just kind of like kind of hit me with like a freight train, after connecting all this, is that, given the explanation for trauma bonding, having someone mirror you during the love bombing phase, and then do the, intermittent, rewarding and stuff like that, all that's bad enough. But if you throw in this facet of like this psychic connection, where the narcissist is in a weird way looking to you as a surrogate mother, that kind of, resonates with me, because that kind of answers why, okay, trauma bonding's hard, it is so much hard. If you have not gone through it, you don't know. You don't know. I mean, it is rough. And the thing is that it is so much harder than it logically should be. Even given, like I've said, everything about the relationship, yeah, it's rough. But the trauma bonding is so much harder than it should be. And I think that kind of odd psychic connection kind of answers part of that, of why, when you end a relationship with a narcissist, and that psychic connection is either cut or more, let's be honest, it kind of fades away. That hurts. And to me, that feels more accurate to what happened than just saying like, oh, I miss them and intermittent rewards. But and to be clear, it's tough, because whereas I do believe that psychic connection exists, it doesn't mean the narcissist has a soul or a spirit the way that we think of it. They didn't love you. They never had empathy for you. You are always an object for them. They wanted you to be the mother that they never had, but that doesn't mean that they could show the care and love that a healthy child could for a mother. They're already damaged. And so again, that's kind of like the rough spot for the narcissist, is they're going to be chasing after that surrogate mother for the rest of their life. But yeah, I am not going to excuse the narcissist behavior in any way. And also, to be clear, if I imply any sympathy, it is for the child that becomes the narcissist. I do not have sympathy for the narcissist adult. They're responsible for their actions and the consequences of their actions. So bringing it back together, I hope that this video has been interesting and helpful. And again, like, I would be, I'm very curious to hear if anyone else has felt what I refer to as that psychic connection with their narcissist, and kind of experiencing all those coincidences just over and over to the point where it was the norm because it was so common within the relationship. So yeah, I hope you leave some comments below with those. Thanks.